welcome to Main Engineering Hub. This is your narrator, Chief Engineer Ravi Gupta. Friend, today we'll talk about the IMO requirement of a main air compressor. After that, we'll see what is the advantage of having an intercooler and aftercooler in a multi-stage compression. And after that, we'll see for exam purpose how we can say in minimum word about the advantage of this intercooler and aftercooler. Friend, if you're watching if you're watching the Marine Engineering Hub for the first time, I want to tell you Marine Engineering Hub is a platform in which we make video like this which will be beneficial for your MU class 1, class 2 and class 4. So please like the channel and don't forget to subscribe. Friend, if you are right now giving MU class 2 and class 4, I request you to take the membership. You can find a lot of video which are yet to be unreleased which will be beneficial for examination. I take the guarantee. So let's start the today video of IMO requirement of air compressor and intercooler and aftercooler advantage. So what is the IMO requirement of a air compressor? So IMO say that the air compressor on board should be at least 2 in number. The air compressor on board should be at least 2 in number, and that 2 compressor should able to fill the air bottle such that it will be able to give him the required number of start as per the reversible and non-reversible engine. So what does it mean? It means that the air compressor should be designed in such a way that it should be able to fill the air bottle within a period of one hour, and after that the compressor will be stopped, and the amount of air which is filled in the air bottle should be able to give 12 consecutive start in case of a reversible engine and 6 consecutive start for the non-reversible engine. Non-reversible engine are the CPP, controllable pitch propeller type, and reversible engine are the in which we make the oil and atom cam control or solenoid control depending on the MEB, MEC or cam type. So it say that your 2 compressor should able to fill it up to a maximum service pressure within a period of 1 hour for the required number of start. Now on board, actually in actual scenario, what the maker provide each compressor in such a way that the amount of air they produce to fill the air bottle in 1 hour period of time will be sufficient for the meeting the requirement of a consecutive start. So it means that if there is 2 air compressor, each air compressor will be able to fill the air bottle up to maximum service pressure that will be able to give 12 consecutive start. It means that each one is redundant on each other. Now the second requirement is there should be at least one unit must operate independently of the main propulsion engine. After that, the temperature which are discharged from the air compressor. Now this is the suction and this is the discharge. So the discharge from the main air compressor air should be less than 93 degrees Celsius. The air bottle consists of a fusible plug. That temperature should not be exceed more than 120 degrees Celsius. The second thing they say that there should be a safety valve provided in each air bottle which should lift when the pressure reach 10% of a maximum working pressure, and also in the compressor there is safety valve provided which should lift in case the pressure abnormally rise above the 10% of the maximum working pressure. After that, they say that the lubrication alarm failure should also be there. So in case of a failure of lubrication, alarm should be raised and the system will shut down if required. After that, they say that there should be a separate emergency air compressor which should get power both from the main and from the emergency generator, so that it will be able to raise the ship in from the dead ship condition. It means that in case of a full blackout, the emergency air compressor should get power from the emergency generator, which will able to fill a small air bottle. That air bottle will help to start the generator, and that generator will be able to start the main air compressor. Now let's see the intercooler and aftercooler. So now this is what you are seeing is a two-stage reciprocating type of main air compressor. This stage is the HP stage and this stage is the HP stage. So the air is coming from here, after that it is flowing here, and then it is being cooled from here. So this is the HP LP suction, this is the LP discharge, and it is going to this cooler which is called intercooler, and after that it is coming here HP suction, and then it is flowing here HP discharge, and then it is again getting cooled after cool, and then going to the air bottle. So it is flowing like this: discharge, this is suction, discharge, getting cooled, again suction, HP, again discharge, and then after cooling and then flowing out. So this cooler is called intercooler because it is in between the stage of LP discharge and HP suction, therefore its name as intercooler. And this is called aftercooler because it is after HP discharge and in between the main air bottle. So in between the main air bottle and the HP discharge is called aftercooler, and in between LP discharge and HP suction is called intercooler. So in examination they will ask you what is the purpose of a intercooler, why do we need a intercooler. So intercooler is provided to ensure that your volumetric efficiency of a main air compressor increase by increasing the density of the air. As the density of air is increased, the work done required for compression will be less. So I will try to make you understand by this graph. This is the PV graph, and this is the, suppose this is 1 bar, this is 5 bar, and this is 10 bar. So these two graph, if you are doing a single stage compression from 1 to 10 bar, then you will follow this graph. If you are doing multi-stage compression from here to here, 5 bar, this point, if you are doing compression from multi-stage from here to here, and then you are doing cooling, then you are following intercooling, then you are following this line, and then second stage is going this way. So this is called multi-stage compression. So in multi-stage you are performing a cooling, and therefore the graph look like this. So from 1 bar is here, 5 bar is here, and 10 bar is here. So you are doing a cooling and it is following this graph. So what is happening here? Now see here, this is the intercooling. So what is happening? In first stage, LP suction, LP discharge, and then we are doing a cooling. When we are doing a cooling, what is happening? The volume of air which after getting cooled, it is decreasing to this. It means the same volume of air, the mass of air is increasing, and the volume which is required by the same mass is decreasing. So if you see here, this is the energy, this is the volume which has been decreased. So what is happening? So because of intercooling, the volume is getting decreased, which is increasing the mass of the air, and after that when we are doing a compression, it is coming from here to here. So if you are doing a single stage compression, then you will follow this graph, this to this. But because you are doing a multi-stage compression, you are following this graph, so you are saving this amount of energy. So what is happening? Because of the cooling, the volume is getting decrease and the mass of air is getting increased, and hence the work done is saved. Second most important point is that it protects the lubricant. So what is happening, because the air which is coming out after the cooler is cooled, so the temperature is cooled. Because of that, the lubricating oil between the HP piston and liner is prevented from getting burned out, and hence the overall running hour of a machinery is increasing, because there will be a efficient boundary lubrication which will increase the life of a running compressor. So it protects the lubricant, which will ultimately prevent the carbonizing of the valve and the center valve. It is preventing the explosion because it is keeping the air temperature below the flash point of a lubricating oil, and hence reducing the risk of crankcase explosion of a airline. Now, what is the purpose of aftercooler? The aftercooler is provided after the HP discharge and air bottle. The purpose of aftercooler is to make sure that the water condensate, or if when the air is hot, it will have a high amount of water carrying capacity. After it is been cooled, the carrying capacity of a water or moisture content will be reduced, and hence the volume amount of air, mass of air will be more in a same area. So the aftercooler purpose is to ensure that the moisture after the compression is been removed, so that in the air bottle we are able to store more amount of air having greater density. Second thing is that it is helping to downstream protection. If the air stored in the air bottle is of less temperature and having less moisture content, then it will prevent the damage of a pneumatic seal, hoses and the sensitive control equipment. Now this is a tandem type air compressor. The suction is coming from here, it is going to suction here, the discharge is coming from here, it is getting intercooled. This is the intercool happening here. After that it is entering to the suction valve here, and then it is going to second stage compression. Coming out from second stage compression here, discharge is happening here. Then this is the aftercool. This is the aftercool is happening, and now it is discharge. So in tandem type, the air is flowing like this. It is going like this. This area is the intercooling area, and this area is the aftercooling area. Now, if in exam they say you, tell me in short what is the purpose of intercooler and aftercooler, then you say intercooler increases the mass of the air, it lowers the air temperature, it removes the moisture, it decreases the work done, and increases the volumetric efficiency of a compression cycle. If they say what is the aftercooler advantage, the aftercooler doesn't have any performance effect on a air compression. First thing you say like this. Second is you say its purpose is to remove moisture content of the air, so that the amount of air which is stored in the air bottle mass should be more available for the purpose which is intended to be used. The intercooler look like this. This is here which is been fitted here. This is the tubes and this is the body. Now this is how it look like. This is the casing and this is the cooling tube. You know, see here the water will flow inside and the air will go outside and it will be cool. So friend, if you have learned something from this video, then please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. If you are watching the video till now, I request you to take the membership. I guarantee you will not regret. Thank you friend. Have a good day.